Hello and welcome to this intelligent briefing. My name is Mrigaya Dham, and in this edition of our deep dive series, I'm speaking with Mike O'Sullivan. He tells us about how he monitors the cross-regional needs of customers whilst conforming to the highest standards of data security and privacy, despite digitization demands placing the pressure on the company to scale. He further tells us about his partnership with Cloudflare, shares insights on the OSI model, and recommends how organizations can take a proactive approach to mitigating Layer 7 attacks. Hello, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hello, my name is Mike O'Sullivan. I'm Chief Technical Officer at Infinox.
As CTO, can you outline your strategic approach and how this enables you to meet the business goals of your organization?
So our strategic approach is always a balancing act between security on one hand and usability and agility on the other. Often, the most top-notch secure controls are not the most efficient to allow a business to scale and deliver in a way that is agile. Conversely, the fastest, most unrestricted way of running things is usually the least secure. So as CTO, I had to coach the business on finding a balance that works for everyone, in simpatico, if you like, with the strategic commercial objectives.
Can you tell us how digitalization demands have placed pressure on the company to scale and how you've managed this effectively? Have there been any cybersecurity implications or challenges as a result?
Sure. With our global footprint now spanning multiple global jurisdictions such as Africa, Latin America, and the Asia subcontinent, companies such as Infinox require a scalable solution which can deliver excellent performance in a digital globalized world. For an online trading provider, the true focus of digitization for us will always be how effectively we can distribute a price to an end customer, for example, a foreign exchange currency quote, and how we can protect our customer data when transacting trading through us. In other words, digitization is about making a currency price as competitive as possible and protecting the other important global currency for our customers, the one that everyone talks about, namely their data. We looked at different options with Cloudflare to achieve this, focusing on, not surprisingly, CDN, load balancing, network layer 7, firewall, and other security. Cloudflare managed to tick all the boxes on our requirements, and it's naturally fitted our strategic objectives.
How do you monitor the cross-regional needs of your customers whilst conforming to the highest standards of data privacy and security?
So outside of our internal SEO analytics and business intelligence platforms, we often use the native Cloudflare web and account analytics dashboards, which provide a comprehensive insight on customer browser preferences, devices, zones, peak time, and overall performance of our sites and products. Both are features of the Cloudflare package that we have found indispensable when it comes to understanding our customer experience, which we place in the highest regard at Infinox. As well as having the excellent intelligence telling us how people are interacting with our systems, it's important for us to understand what's happening around us. And this gives us the best chance of anticipating customer needs and preempting the full range of security incidents. This activity takes a number of different forms, from monitoring local legislation to being aware of cybersecurity incidents globally. And this allows us to aggregate internal and external data for a complete holistic view of our operating environment.
Can you tell us about your partnership with Cloudflare? How has working with this technology provider offered an increased level of visibility over your network?
So from our first reach out through to discovery and then through to proof of concept, working together with Cloudflare has been a standout partnership for Infinox. Cloudflare supported us from the very beginning with a small team, walked us through our extensive proof of concept, and covered any questions or concerns we had throughout the process. As a globally recognized trading provider covering many geographies, we're often faced with regional nuances of implementation. However, this was not a problem for Cloudflare to support and advise the integration specialists, product managers, and solution architects along our journey. With our partnership now established, Cloudflare are able to summon their full portfolio of resources to our disposal So we are confident we have a trusted partner who we can rely on to support us and also take us forward with future implementation strategies.
Can you offer some insight into the OCI model? What is layer 7 of the internet and how does it interact with other OSI layers?
Certainly. So at the highest level, the OSI model provides a reference model for how data moves from a software application in one computer to a software application in another. The model consists of 7 self-contained layers, each with a defined function. OSI is a tried and tested method for understanding and troubleshooting issues that may arise at the point of a networking process. Assuming a problem can be narrowed down to one specific layer of the model, a lot of unnecessary work can be avoided when conducting root cause analysis, which can obviously aid service recovery. Layer 7, also called the application layer, is the highest layer of the OSI model and the closest to our end user. The OSI model dictates that each layer only communicates directly with the layer above or below it. Software applications like web browsers, email clients, and our customer application mechanisms rely on the application layer to initiate communications. And one of the standout reasons Infinox chose to partner with Cloudflare was the fact that they provide an excellent OSI and layer 7 model and a package.
How do layer 7 attacks work and how does Cloudflare protect against these types of attacks?
So a common threat in the current security climate for most financial service firms such as us is a distributed denial of service, a DDoS attack, with current risk settings set by many CTOs as an if and not a when event. Layer 7 DDoS attacks attempt to overwhelm network or server resources, commonly with a flood of HTTP traffic. However, being with the financial services industry, we know we're also at risk from a range of threat actors, and it's important to me to protect ourselves against all attack vectors, such as phishing, ransomware, SQL injection attacks, etc., etc. Whilst obviously I can't divulge the full range of defenses Infinox have, I can certainly say that Cloudflare have become a key ingredient in our secret security source.
What impact can these incidents have on an organization?
The impact is often monetary, the main outcome for a trading customer being a temporary disabling of platform and/or trading access during a DDoS. As a multi-regulated business, the impact of these events on financial loss and reputational damage are not to be taken lightly. Through Cloudflare, we've invested in bringing the most cutting-edge tools to our disposal in order to protect our customers and our brand globally. As some context, the average cost of a DDoS attack in the US is around $218,000, according to 2021 stats. I think other costs of DDoS attacks are often forgotten about, though. Service credits for SLA breaches, compensation followed planned downtime, etc. It is also fairly impossible to place a dollar figure on reputational damage, but it most definitely has a monetary impact. Customers essentially lose trust, worry if they or their data are safe post-incident, and the cycle of reputational damage and lack of customer trust feeds itself.
How would you recommend organizations take a proactive approach to managing and mitigating layer 7 attacks? What practices should they have in place?
Web application firewall with a combination of external and internal additional network protection measures and processes in place is often the key to success protection. Filtering IP traffic through reputational databases and captures or bot protection is also something people should look closely into. Alerting is key. Reduce the overall support and at the same time raise the alarm when required. When I made my first steps into online trading, the world's financial markets had brief but significant closure periods in a given week in line with their underlying trading hours. With the rise of crypto, a 24/7 alerting and support approach is critical now. To paraphrase a familiar trader saying, the markets never sleep, so why should security?
Thank you for such an insightful discussion. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.